Greg Ehrenberg here with another PrizePicks video from Awesemo.com, and today we're going to be looking at some rushing yard props, some players I like to go over and under their totals. If you guys want action on these props, head on over to PrizePicks.com. Use the promo code Awesemo and get up to a $100 bonus on your first deposit. The first player I'm looking at here is Myles Gaskin of the Dolphins for under 750.5 rushing yards. And the real concern I have here with Miami is just the depth that they have at the running back position. Gaskin's probably going to be the number one, but there's still Malcolm Brown who's going to get touches. Salvon Ahmed's going to get touches. And they also have Lynn Bowden Jr., who's a pretty dynamic player who's going to play out of the slot. He's also going to be playing in the backfield. So all of that together just means that Gaskin, unsure how many snaps he's going to take in the backfield. To close out last year, he only got 7 rushing attempts in the final game he played last year against the Bills. All of that together makes me feel a little bit better at him going under 750.5 rushing yards than over that number. The next player I'm looking at here is AndreSwift for under 900.5 rushing yards. And this is pretty simple. I like Swift as a player. I think he's a really dynamic running back, but the Lions suck. And it's pretty hard for a running back to amass a whole bunch of rushing yards when you're playing on a team that's going to be trailing in games and has a bad offensive line. The Lions are very likely to be one of, if not the worst teams in the NFL, and that makes it very hard for their starting running back to pick up a lot of carries. The final player I'm looking at here, it is Jalen Hurts of the Eagles for over 655.5 rushing yards. Now, there is a little bit of concern here that Philadelphia just went out and traded for Gardner Minshew, but they didn't give up that much to acquire him. It was only a 6th-round pick. I view Minshew as more of an insurance policy. I don't think he's actually going to be challenging Hurts for the starting quarterback job as long as Hurts plays fairly well. And Hurts looked pretty good when he started down the stretch of the year for the Eagles. It wasn't that his passing numbers were great, but that's not what we're really looking at here. We're looking at his rushing totals, and you look at his willingness to run the football as the starting quarterback for the Eagles down the stretch of the season, and that's what looks really appealing about this prop. The last 4 games of the season, Jalen Hurts, 18 carries for 106 yards, 11 carries for 63, 9 for 69, then 8 for 34. If he's going to consistently be a player who carries the ball around 10 times per game from the quarterback position, he has the potential to absolutely crush this total. So to recap, the 3 players that I'm looking at here for rushing yard props over at PrizePicks, it is Myles Gaskin for under 750.5 rushing yards, AndreSwift under 900.5, and then Jalen Hurts for over 655.5. If you guys want action on these props, head on over to PrizePicks.com. Use the promo code Awesemo, get up to a $100 bonus on your first deposit. And there's a couple of different ways that we can get money on these props. Over at PrizePicks, there's something called the flex play, where this is a little bit more risk adverse. You don't have to get all 3 of them correct, but if you get 2 out of 3, you'll still pay out 1.25x your money. But if you do happen to go 3 out of 3, that will pay out 2.25x your money. However, if you are super confident all 3 of these props are going to hit, go and use the power play. And if you go 3 of 3, that will pay out 5x your entry fee.